Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay, is one of South America's most pleasant cities. It is the safest capital city in South America. When you come here, you will see lots of nice European style architecture. You will see lots of nice cafes, but many tourists do overlook Montevideo and go to other nearby South American destinations such as Buenos Aires instead. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend that Montevideo is better than Buenos Aires. I think if you do have a direct choice between visiting those two cities, I would recommend Buenos Aires. It is cheaper, it's bigger, there is more to do, more food options. It is a more exciting city than Montevideo, but if you do have the time and you do have the budget to go over to Montevideo for at least a few days, I would recommend it. The city does have its own charm and it is just a pleasant place to pass your time. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my 18 favorite things to see, eat and drink in Montevideo after spending 1 month in Uruguay. So the first thing that I like to do in the city is have a walk around the historic old town. It's called Ciudad Vieja. You've got really nice architecture here. You've got pedestrianised streets. You're going to see nice cafes here, nice restaurants. You're going to see people outside having coffee. The vibe is just really nice here. Now, maybe this is a bit of a crude comparison because I have never been to the south of France, but this is what I imagine the south of France to be like. You know, if you picture a coastal Mediterranean town with nice architecture and cafe culture, this is what Ciudad Vieja is like. I would say that Sunday is a good day to come here. It's very busy. You've got market stalls. You may even see this inflatable slide for kids as well. Now, the second thing that I recommend doing in Montevideo is to go up to the top of the Intendencia de Montevideo building. So it's this government building, and for free, at least at the time when I record this video, you can go up to the top and you get a nice view across the entire city. There is a nice little cafe there as well. So to get inside the building, you have to go to this street called Soriano, and then you go inside the building. You will see that there are some security barriers, but there should be a security guard working there. Just say that you want to go to the Mirador, that is the viewpoint, and then he should let you through the barriers. As I said, as I record this video in 2025 September, there is no entry cost, but maybe in the future there could be. So you wait for the elevator, you go up the elevator, and then you get to the top, and that's where you get your nice view over Montevideo. Now you see this big building in the background of the clip right now. That is the Palacio Salvo. That's probably the most iconic building literally in the entire country of Uruguay. And you can also go up this building apparently. Now I did try and book tickets online on the Palacio Salvo website, but it would not let me purchase the tickets. You had to be a Uruguayan national in order to buy the tickets online. There wasn't any option to enter a foreign passport number. So I read online that you can actually go to the building and book your tickets directly there at the building itself. But when I went to the building, it seemed like everything was closed. The box office ticket center was closed and there was no one in there. And it was like midday on a Saturday. But since then, I have realized that you can book tickets to go up the top of the palace using Get Your Guide. So the link to this ticket is below in the description and the comment section if you are interested. But I personally did not go, so I can't really put it in my 18 favorite things about Montevideo if I did not even go. But the Intendencia building is free, so I would recommend that. Now, the third thing that I would recommend doing when you come to Montevideo is to go and visit the Estadio Centenario. So this is the national football stadium of Uruguay. So this stadium is actually the stadium where the first ever World Cup in 1930 was hosted, and this stadium will be the host stadium for the opening ceremony in the 2030 World Cup, the 100-year anniversary. So to get into the stadium, you have to go into the entrance that says Museo del Football, and then you pay for your ticket. It is 350 pesos, which is around $8.72. You can pay by bank card. It is a nice little museum to check out. Of course, you have lots of football memorabilia. You have lots of photographs of World Cup winners. You have signed shirts from Maradona, signed shirts from Pele. Obviously, Uruguay is a football mad country. They have won 2 World Cups in 1930 and 1950. They have 4 stars on their football shirt because they claim that the 1924 and 1928 Olympic gold medals count as 2 World Cups. Even if you don't like football, I would recommend coming here just because it is a big part of the culture in the country, but you will find some rugby memorabilia and some Olympic memorabilia in the museum as well. Now, the fourth thing that I like to do in Montevideo is have a walk around the Pocitos Positos neighborhood and the Positos beach. So Positos is one of the nicest areas in the entire city. It is a bit more residential than the city center of Montevideo, but there are some nice restaurants and cafes and bars in this area. Obviously there is a beach here, but I would not necessarily recommend swimming in the water if you do have a warm day, because that water is quite dirty. The Rio de la Plata is not the cleanest. Now, the fifth thing that I enjoyed doing in Montevideo was visiting the Parque Rodó. So you come here on a sunny day and it's a really nice park to have a walk around. There is a nice lake there and there's a little castle too. You may also get lucky and see these green pigeon-like birds. I was quite mesmerized the first time I saw these. I don't actually know the name for them, so if you do know what they're called, do comment below. But yeah, I was a little bit starstruck when I first saw these green, amazing colored birds. Now, the sixth thing I recommend doing in Montevideo is going to see the sunset on La Rambla. So La Rambla is the big main road boulevard that circles all around the coastline of Montevideo. Especially if you come here at the weekend to watch the sunset, it's just a lovely vibe. Everyone is out with their friends and family. Everyone is drinking the famous mate drink that they drink in Uruguay and Argentina as well. Now, my next three recommendations for places to visit in Montevideo are the three big food markets in the city, the three mercados. So firstly, you have the Mercado del Puerto in the Ciudad Vieja. This is like the touristy market. There are some nice restaurants there. I went to somewhere called Don Garcia and I had the chavito there. It was very tasty, though a little bit expensive even for Uruguayan standards. And by the way, chavito is the national dish of Uruguay. It is a sandwich with steak, ham, bacon, mozzarella, tomato, lettuce, egg and mayonnaise. The next market you can go and check out is called Mercado Ferrando. This one is a little bit smaller, but there are some nice food options here. There is a nice bar that does a selection of beers, there is a cafe, and there is an ice cream shop too. And then the last market that I recommend checking out is a little bit out of town. It's called the Mercado Agricola. It is the biggest one, and again, you've got lots of food options, lots of fresh fruit and vegetables if you want to buy that, and also stores selling oils and jams and that kind of stuff. Now, I did allude to this earlier in the video, but Montevideo has some really nice cafes, and I am going to give you three cafe recommendations. So firstly, I recommend Cafe Brasileiro. It is a fancy looking place, but actually the prices here are quite affordable even for Montevideo standards. They have lots of options for tea and coffee, and they do lots of these toasties and toasts such as avocado toast, salmon toast, all that kind of stuff. Next, I recommend Las Cabras Cafe. This is a small little neighborhood cafe. They do lots of sweet desserts like cakes and tarts. The fruit tart that I had there was very nice. And then my last cafe recommendation is somewhere called Pivo or Piwo. It's spelled Piwo. Again, lots of coffee and hot chocolate. You can also get ice cream here. The ice cream is very good here. Next, I'm going to give you two recommendations for eating chavito in Montevideo. As I said, chavito is the national dish. So I had a really good chavito at this restaurant called Chez Pinheiro. The chavito was very big. The meat was really tender as well. It was cooked medium rare, which can be quite rare to find in Uruguay. It wasn't too hot, but then again, I was sitting outside in the cold weather, so I would recommend sitting in the restaurant. Now, my second chavito recommendation is at a place called Bar Aracena. Now, this place is located quite far away from the city of Montevideo. It's located in a neighborhood called Carrasco, which is right by the airport. But I did order a chavito from here using the food delivery app in Uruguay, which is called Pedidos Ya. By the way, sometimes you may have issues paying with a foreign bank card on this app. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a bit strange. But yeah, the chavito that I ordered from here was really tasty. The meat was tender, it was piping hot. You will see that people online in forums recommend this place as well. So Bar Aracena is somewhere that you should either check out or use the delivery app to order the chavito from. Now, I will give a mention to this place called Bar Tincao. When you do your research, you will find that lots of people recommend this place called Bar Tincao for chavito, and even my apartment host did recommend me going here too. So I did go, and this is what my chavito looked like. It was a little small and the meat was pretty tough, so I can't really say I recommend it based on the chavito that I had there, but maybe you will get lucky and have a better one than what I did there. Now, I'm going to give you a Milanese recommendation for somewhere where you can eat Milanese in Montevideo. In Uruguay and Argentina, they love their Milaneses. So these are basically breaded schnitzels, and what they do is they put toppings on top of the schnitzel. Now, I recommend that you go to a place called Bar Monteverde and get the Milanese there. Their Milaneses are really, really big. The meat in the Milanese was nice. They give you a big portion of fries, a big portion of bread with some sauces, so I do recommend that. Now, if you're looking to eat Uruguayan style pizza, I can vouch for somewhere called Pizzeria Quinta. It was tasty and the prices were fair. Just be aware that Uruguayan style pizza and also Argentinian style pizza is not like Italian pizza, so the dough in Uruguay and Argentina is thicker. They tend to put a lot more cheese on their pizzas than what the Italians would. If you want Italian style pizza, you would have to actively search for it at an authentic Italian restaurant. Now, to finish off, I want to give you 2 bar recommendations, 2 bars that I enjoyed going to. So the first bar I would recommend is somewhere called Matute Bar. I think they had about 40 different beers on tap here, so this is a great place to go if you like your beer. It is a small, nice little cozy bar, but if you do want somewhere a bit bigger, I can recommend a bar called Sumo Brew Pub. The room indoors is big. There is also a big courtyard area. Again, they have lots of beers on tap and lots of other drinks too. Another bar that people talk about is Montevideo Beer Company. I did not go here, so I can't exactly vouch for it, but people do recommend this bar. Now, do feel free to let me know what you think about my recommendations in the comment section. Also, if you are from Montevideo or if you know the city very well, do comment below and let me know your Montevideo recommendations, because this will be helpful to other viewers watching this video. Now, if you have found today's video interesting and helpful, do make sure you click the like button and also subscribe to the channel for more travel content.